Everyone. Welcome to Lunch for the Soul. I am Melissa Wilson. I'm in the Fox 26 newsroom. So you have to know, I never know what's going to happen behind me. So we're going to hope that it's a calm news day. And if you see anything going on back there, that's what's happening. There may be producers, reporters, and anchors going by. But why do I have an incredible guest to introduce you to today? She is on a mission to make a difference and to raise awareness about colon cancer. And so in the coming month in March, you are going to see City Hall lit up in blue. You're going to see people wearing blue to raise awareness about colon cancer. We're used to pink in October. Now let's just get ready for all that blue in March. Let's bring in right now Kathy Mathiason. Welcome to Lunch for the Soul.
Good morning.
Well, you have quite a testimony to share. So I'm just going to get us to start from the very beginning of what was going on. And you are going to take us back to the pandemic when this happened to you.
Okay. Yes, in January of 2020, COVID, not feeling well, decided that, I had a bad morning and called my husband in. Not usually a conversation that we talk about what happens in the restroom, but I
Mhm.
just needed to make sure that I wasn't overreacting and what was happening was truly a concern. So I had some bleeding that happened 2 or 3 times more throughout the day. And so the next morning, not having a primary care doctor, I always went in for my wellness, for my mammogram, and for my well woman exam, but never
Mhm.
really needed a primary care doctor. So I searched for one. I reached out to a friend. I found a primary care. I wasn't able to get into my digestive specialist soon enough. And so over a period of time, a couple of weeks, I scheduled my colonoscopy, and you wake up in that twilight and not really knowing what was going on during the colonoscopy and during the procedure. And I have paperwork and orders to go directly to a colorectal surgeon. That was really scary.
I have that.
Um, so I went into the surgeon, and that was really the first time that I realized I have colon cancer. So it was shocking. He walked through the procedure, and then I had my surgery during COVID. I was in a room by myself in the
Mhm.
hospital for 3 days, and it was it was really scary. But they were able to remove the tumor with no chemotherapy, with no really follow up procedures, or obviously, I have to go in annually for
Mhm.
checkup and do regular colonoscopies. But it's really just amazing that you truly have to listen to your body. And I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that I was able to catch the 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 issue and take care of it
Yeah.
before it became a bigger problem.
One thing, and I'm going to get to in a minute, this incredible foundation that you've teamed up with because you're trying to raise awareness, and we'll certainly talk about that. But I want to talk about one thing that they're trying to push, and that is that women need to get screened. And even you thought that you ate healthy, you exercise, you didn't think that this is something that could happen to you, right? It was the last thing you ever see. We see you here out walking and being so active, and you just think that you feel healthy, you do healthy things, it's not going to happen to you, right?
Right, right. And so again, I think you just have to listen to your body. And with women, it's not just, our mammograms and our well woman exams.
Hmm.
It's really everything. And again, just paying attention to your body and listening. And so yes, I'm very excited to really support the Push Up Foundation.
Let's talk about the Push Up Foundation. When I first heard about this, and I have to say, the founder is actually somebody I used to work with at Fox years ago, almost decades ago at this point. But I'm so happy to see what he's doing. Also, cancer, colon cancer survivor. And when he was diagnosed, he said, you know what? I want to raise awareness and do something about this. I want my diagnosis to make a difference. And so he says it's called push-up because not pictured push-ups. I was like picturing him like just pushing through this. We're gonna do
Right.
push-ups. Not even close. He's so funny. So a couple of reasons they came up with that name. Push-up, as in push up your colonoscopy. People need to get up at 45 now, not 50. That's the new recommendation or the latest recommendation. And then push-up as in, well, how do we say it? When you get a colonoscopy, things are pushed up.
Yes. Yes. There's
So,
not
and he
really a great way to say that.
yeah, and he wants people to laugh about it and not take it so seriously and get rid of any stigmas out there. But what he has found in his research is that women think they don't have to do this. It's a man thing, and that's not true, right? Obviously.
Absolutely. Right. Right. And so just the 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 being 50 plus, just saying
Uh-huh.
that, and then knowing that had I had my colonoscopy at 45 or had I known,
Hmm.
they could have removed a polyp and I could have avoided that surgery.
Yeah. That is what's so important for people to realize that it is the, or at least one of the most preventable cancers because doctors can scoop it out while it's precancer before it even turns into a tumor. And you have to realize that you don't have to go through surgery or chemotherapy or radiation if it is caught early. Let's talk a little bit about what it was like to be alone. You have to be in that hospital. It's during the pandemic. You have to not have any family members there with you. Your husband was down in the parking lot and you guys are, messaging each other from a window. Like, how did you count on your faith during that time? It had to feel awfully lonely. Nobody wants to be alone.
It's lonely. It was scary. Praying and knowing that I was so grateful to God for finding the cancer and for really putting his healing hands on me and giving the doctors that knowledge to help with the healing and curing my cancer. And I'm so grateful that today, 4 years later, I'm still cancer free. And just knowing that I was a wife and a mother and I had to be there for my family, um, I just prayed that God would walk beside me and lift me up in his grace. And it's such an amazing feeling knowing that God is there and with me and supporting me so that I can be strong for not only myself, but for my family.
Oh, it is so beautifully stated. And I love that faith that you had made you feel even stronger. Did it bring you peace when you would pray? Because I often think that I meet a lot of people who have never prayed perhaps until maybe they got sick. What difference did that make for you? What kind of peace did it bring in your heart and your soul and your mind when you were going through a hard time alone?
It's interesting because I feel like for some period of time I didn't really know how to pray. I knew I was praying to God and asking him for guidance, but when you ask for very specific
Hmm.
help and healing and strength, it's really amazing that that happens. You know, the healing happens, the peace happens, really your sense of self. And that's what I'm on this earth for. And most importantly, again, I've always cared about myself and self care, but really my family, my husband, my daughter, my
Hmm.
parents, my friends, my extended family. They're the most important people
Hmm.
in my life and in my being. And I couldn't be there without those blessings from God.
That being said, and it's so nice to have the support system of a family, but it's, when you have God is the number one in your life, and then you have family to help support that, and you feel loved and understood, and you know people have your back, it makes a big difference. But that being said, what did family or friends do or say to you to help you? Because I have heard so many times from friends, especially more than family perhaps, I backed off when my friend got cancer because I didn't know the right thing to say. And I always say, then don't say anything. Just go sit with them, right? Don't back off. What helped you the most during this fight?
I remember my diagnosis, and then I remembered I have 20 people that I need to call.
Hmm.
And I knew it wasn't something I could send in an email or
Hmm.
send in a text. So I wrote my list down. I called everyone. I told them my story. And there were so many emotions. There was anger, there was support, there were tears. I'm like, no, it's okay. Please don't cry. This is just where I am in my life, and I will get through this, but I need you to help me get through it. And
Hmm.
there were people who didn't know what to say, but were
Hmm.
very grateful that I did reach out and share my story. And I can't tell you just the broad support that I got, whether it was someone going to the grocery store for me or someone coming and sitting with me. It was COVID, so that was kind of a challenge for everyone.
Hmm.
But even my husband, I said, I don't really need anything. I just need to know that you're here.
Oh,
And so, just you I know people at the time don't really want to be bothered. You're sick. You just want to, you want to get some sleep. You want to rest. You want to heal. But really having people there to lift you up, whether it's
mhm.
in person or on the phone or a text, I'm just thinking about you. And, the food packages that showed up for the door. I mean, I can't tell you how grateful I was for the support in so many ways.
Oh, that is so beautifully stated again. I just love talking to you because that message is so important, I feel like, for people because hopefully right now they're not having to deal with anything like this. But in the future, I mean, I just feel like it's a matter of time before we have a loved one who has to battle something and knowing just to be there is the most important thing you can ever do for a loved one. Let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen this weekend because you want to get everybody on board. There is going to be a fun run, and we saw you walking. So I'm sure you're going to be out there in the middle of them all for the Push Up Foundation.
Absolutely. The victory lap, it's the fourth victory lap for the Push Up Foundation. And you spoke a little bit about Keith Rollins
Yes.
earlier, and his wife and I, Sarah, worked together and happened to run into one another at the grocery store. And so this was, you know, 4 months ago. And since
Mhm.
then, I've said, what can I do to help raise awareness,
Yeah.
to be supportive? And so the victory lap, their fourth one, is on Saturday. Run and walk. So don't let the run scare you. But it starts at 9 o'clock, and it is in the Heights Bike and Hike Trail.
Mhm.
And then they will have music, they'll have food at the Highline restaurant. And I know that I rallied my friends and my family and as many people as I could to come walk, to support, and really to celebrate
Yeah.
the wellness, the health, the friendship, the
Mhm.
spiritual support. And so all of the proceeds will go towards really awareness that
Mhm.
Keith and Sarah and the organization, and now hopefully many others, will share their experiences, will go and get their screenings. And so, whatever I can do now, and I'll continue to
Mhm.
just help support. And I've got my blue for colorectal cancer month for March in support. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. I hope everyone will come out. You can still register, or you can just register the day of the walk on Saturday.
Just show up and get out there. That's what matters, right? And help spread
Yes.
this important word. A lot of times, Kathy, when I talk to cancer patients or someone who has survived cancer, they say, well, I'm going to have to make major lifestyle changes in order for this to never come back. What happens for someone like you who was already making those smart lifestyle changes, or not even a change, but just living right, of eating healthy and exercising? What happens for you now? Just maintain that?
I think you maintain that. I think you don't let life get in your way of doing your
Mhm.
preventive screenings. We get busy. Um, I think the eating, certainly the exercise. Um, Honestly, it's kind of the mind and the soul as well. So I
Mhm.
think having healthy mental health, I think having that relationship and that spirituality with God, surrounding yourself with your friends and supporters, it's really whole body wellness and self care, in addition to what you're eating and your
Mhm.
exercising and
Mhm.
your limitations on those things that, whether it's chocolate or sweets. I mean, you have to have that. You can't deprive yourself, but
Of
really
course.
paying attention and being aware of what you're putting in your body. I mean, there's this saying, you are what you eat, and it sounds kind of silly, but I completely agree with it.
I could not agree more. And you're right. It's that whole package, right, of mind, body, and spirit. Well, as we wrap up, I want to remind everybody that you were diagnosed in stage one because you didn't ignore symptoms. You went as fast as you could to get help. What would you advise to somebody who might be scared, who might get symptoms like you and be embarrassed or scared and not want to do anything about it, not want to know the truth of what it is until they get really sick? How would you encourage them to say, just go, just get it done?
Well, I would just say go and just get it done and
Hmm.
listen to your body. It's embarrassing when you meet people for the first time and you're talking about very personal things.
Hmm.
However, it's our body, our families need us.
Hmm.
We need to be healthy for
Hmm.
ourselves. And if you need a buddy, then you reach out to your bestie or your sister or whomever it is that you really share that personal bond with,
Hmm.
and have them go with you. I mean, it's funny because the prep is not great, but it is the best sleep that you'll get. I mean, you wake up and it's like, wow, like you've slept all night long. And then you know what your health is. And being afraid, I completely understand. I remember being just petrified when I got the news. But now, 4 years later, just knowing that you're healthy really is the motivation to get healthy and stay healthy.
Well, you are just such a doll. Thank you for sharing your testimony, your private situation to make a difference in others. And I absolutely believe that you will make a difference. And I believe that people will say, you know what? I'm going to stop dragging my feet. I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to make that colonoscopy appointment because of you. So thank you, Kathy, for that. You're just a delight. And I wish you only good health from here on out.
Thank you so much. I loved our time together.
All right. Take care of yourself. Thanks
Okay.
again and have fun at that fun run.
Thank you. Sorry to miss you.
Oh, I know. I hope it goes really well.
Okay.
All right. And everyone, I just want to remind you, you can join me every Wednesday for Lunch for the Soul right here. You know, I love having you here. I hope you have a beautiful day. Maybe you have an idea or you want to be featured here on Lunch for the Soul. It's easy to do. All you have to do is reach out to me. You can reach me through our Fox 26 Facebook page, might be the easiest. You can always find me too on our YouTube page for Fox 26, or grab a pen. I'm going to give you my email address. It's melissa.wilson@fox.com. And I hope to see you back here, same time, same place next week. Have a beautiful day.